Hey, and welcome back, adventurers. Welcome to Adventures with Amarynthe. I'm your host, Amarynthe, and this is my Monday video vlog. I'm going to try and put one out every Monday, if possible, barring any type of unforeseen problems. And we will go from there on that. I know that in the past I have given random shouts out to people who have inspired, influenced, just made me happy, honestly. Giving me laughs I wasn't expecting, etc. But I would like to do one video where I just thank everybody. The people who gave me the courage, or just the feeling like I could do something too. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, this has become a project that I'm actually really getting into. I mean, I've mentioned before in other videos that this is really not my forte, I'm more of a background kind of person, not the foreground. And to even want to do this to the point where I've invested in, better equipment. I do hope to start throwing up some Overwatch play this week, since everything's ready now. I've got a good computer system. Excuse me, a good computer system, and I've actually I got it like a week and a half ago, and I've actually played it to the point where I'm a level 25, so I can actually start going and getting my ass handed to me by the people who play this every day and all the time, and really know what they're doing. But I wanted to do one video where I just really kind of did a general thank you to people who have inspired me. And on that note, I mean, people on YouTube. I joined YouTube, I think I just had like my 3rd anniversary. I'm not really even huge on technology, I would say, beyond simple things. I hate my phone. I think I've finally beaten my iPad into submission. It seems to be doing what I want it to do when I want it to do it. But there have been, ongoing, I said before that I'd be willing to offer a blood sacrifice to the gods if my computer turns on and, doesn't give me the blue screen of confusion or anything else. So this one, of course, doesn't. This is a really nice setup I've got now. Might have to upgrade the camera at some point, and I'm still actually waiting for a gaming headset that Mr. Editor answered a bunch of questions about the new computer we got, and they're going to send us a free headset as a reward, which is really nice because I needed a new one anyway. But when I first started watching YouTube, it was all about, like, the list people. It was all about information stuff. I watched a lot of top 10 movies of 2017, things that were lists and information. And on that note, some of the best I've found that I really enjoy are, well, first of all, List 25, which I think is absolutely fabulous if you want to learn strange facts or interesting facts, or, want to win bar bets with obscure facts. They really do their homework, and they do an excellent job with their channel, as far as I'm concerned. We've got Alonzo Larone, who is, he's the Get a Dictionary guy. He covers a lot of people who don't know how to spell or use grammar properly in their messages and stuff. He has a very funny channel, and he seems like a pretty nice guy. We've got Fluffy, who does World's Worsts. Worst parents, worst tattoos, worst, you're bad at social media, that kind of stuff, and he is hilarious, and is definitely worth watching. Joe Santagato does a lot similar to Fluffy in a way. I mean, he does Walmart people, Tinder people, and his own stuff. He's got a podcast and everything, and he is a very funny guy. Don't want to say dark lists, but for lists that are of other types of things. We've got Rob Dyke. He does, you know, infamous criminals. He does Seriously Strange. He, along with several others, are currently being, I guess, villainized by YouTube in a way. There was an incident that happened at the beginning of this year that blew my mind, first of all, that anybody felt like that, and B, that it would affect advertisers the way it did. Because usually advertisers will advertise on anything people are watching. And if they think that by saying, oh, we're not going to advertise on your site because you do lists about criminals or murderers or whatever, or you do scary things, is really stupid, because these people are beating themselves to be able to advertise on things like The Walking Dead and all of those. I don't watch a lot of mainline television. I don't even have cable anymore. We got Netflix and Amazon. With Netflix and Amazon, you can watch anything you want, and YouTube. But they've created some kind of a stink that I don't understand, even as a consumer. I mean, let's face it. These days, if you're going to reach me as an advertiser, it is going to be through YouTube or, well, on my Facebook, through Facebook or Twitter. Because I don't have commercial television anymore. I cherry pick the shows I actually watch. Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and American Gods are like three of my favorites. American Gods is actually in Stars, so it is not really affected by the commercial thing so much. But, and part of the reason why I do that is because, you know, on Netflix, I think they upgrade to no commercials. I did have Hulu, but it wasn't working very well for us for some reason. But we also killed the commercials there. Amazon, you don't get commercials because I don't want to watch a bunch of commercials. I want to watch my show and I want to watch it uninterrupted. So if you're an advertiser and you want to reach me, you're going to have to reach me through a social media site or through YouTube. And I know a lot of people are the same way. I mean, at this point, cable in America has put a stranglehold on people in terms of prices. The reason why we dropped ours is because they threw a almost $500 bill at us out of the blue for a package we never signed up for. So that was the end of them. So, you know, advertisers, if you're watching my video for some stupid reason, this is where you're going to reach me. You're going to reach me through Rob Dyke, because I will watch him every time he posts a video. And I will watch the commercials that are on his site because they support his work. Not because of anything else. Not because of what you're selling. Although you have a better chance of selling something to me if I see it. I'm back with my list makers because it's actually starting to get kind of long. I've got Matt Santoro. He is very funny. I might have mentioned him already. I'm not sure. He does like information list that's 50 items, and it is well worth listening to because he finds some interesting facts. Planet Dolan, which used to be Danger Dolan, is now Planet Dolan and Super Planet Dolan. They do some lists, but they are also sliding into other media at this point. They are actually a group of individuals who do different things. They do a lot of voice work, you know, a lot of animations and stuff, and they are hilarious. And Slapped Ham, who has a top 10 list usually, and he does a really great job. He's very funny. In fact, I follow him on Twitter, and he will throw out an interesting fact occasionally onto Twitter, and if it's one I've known already, I will usually throw one back that's kind of in the same genre, because, especially if it's animals. I was a zoology major at one time, so, I mean, I can talk about animals all day long. But that leads to what I call mixed media people, and that would be Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link. I'm sure they have millions of subscribers, so, I mean, I know people know who they are. But watching them and some of the awkward things they have done, and me and Mr. Editor, otherwise known as my husband. So when I refer to Mr. Editor in videos or on social media. That's my husband. He will not give me a pseudonym to use for him yet, because of course, you know, I am not really Amarynthe. It is just a persona per se. Um, Me and Mr. Editor die every time we watch Good Mythical More. We can't believe some of the ridiculous crap these guys do. You know, and also in what I call mixed media or hybrid is Matthias. He does lists, but he does lists of stuff like strange things from the dollar store and things like that. And he is actually the one who's the most responsible for the fact I'm sitting here today, not in himself personally, but in the fact that in one of his videos, he had a guy named Markiplier. Now, I know he's got millions of followers all over the world, but I just heard of him in November 2016. So, like I said, I tend to be a little bit behind on things to do with technology or gaming, really. And he, in turn, introduced me to a slew of people who do Let's Play where you actually see them playing. Now, before that, I had tried watching people who put game videos on YouTube. I mean, I was a huge WoW addict for years, like over a decade. I put, you know, $14.99 into the kitty, bought every X pack, all that junk. I've said before, I really think they've turned it into a lazy man's game, and it's no longer as interesting as it was. I guess maybe after a decade you can get sick of anything. But Markiplier introduced me to Jack and PewDiePie, of course, and Bob, Myscrum. I think I've got the name right. I'm not sure. Wade, who's Minion 777, and Ethan. Both of whom's last name I know, but I cannot think of right now. And I'm sorry. But watching these guys be silly and do what they do made me think, you know what, this looks like a lot of fun. Maybe I should give it a try. You know, it's YouTube. It's an art form in itself, and is really becoming the media of the day. You know, the older media things, newspaper. I mean, nobody gets a newspaper anymore that I know of. I mean, if you want to look something up in the newspaper, you look online. You know, and you know, they're fighting back and doing some ugly things to YouTubers and to the media of YouTube, which is really sad. I mean, they have their day, and it may just be time for them to move on. You know, and in fact, my two most recent people on my list are actually a guy named Pyrocynical out of England, who I found through PewDiePie's site, and Yami Mash, who was doing a lot of stuff with Markiplier, you know, a while ago. Kind of fell off the map for about a year. He's back. He's reloaded. He's putting up some videos, and they're hilarious. He has actually moved up to being one of my favorites, just because, I mean, anybody who makes me laugh so hard I cry is worth watching. I mean, I was dying the other night. So, these are the people that have had input in my, I don't want to say life, I don't know any of them personally, I've never met, I probably never will meet any of them. You know, they all seem very nice, you know, but, you know, things being what they are, you know, crap, I live in Maryland. Nobody comes to Maryland. You know, the best thing I've seen live in Maryland was I saw Stephen Lynch a few months back, and he was hilarious doing his musical comedy, but there's never a decent convention around here or anything. So my chance, you know, and I haven't been able to get out to California since 2000. So, you know, I'm kind of tapped there. But they have, like I said, inspired me to want to do stuff, to be creative again. You know, I used to write a lot and stuff. You know, I've said before, enough people tell you to get your head out of the clouds and that you're just being dumb. You start to believe them. So, I also wanted to cover, I had noticed in my, the food videos I've been doing for Cooking Made Easy Gamers Edition. I noticed that my arms, I don't want people to think that there's anything wrong with me. I've got marks on my arms. They're actually scars from, I have a 4-year-old Lesser Jardines parrot. And for a couple of years, there probably wasn't a day where I didn't get bit. And I've had a lot of people say, why do you even keep that little monster? Well, first of all, he's 4 now, and he's starting to calm down. He's being a better boy. A gooder boy. And second, he's my responsibility. You know, that was the contract I signed with him when I got him from the breeder, was that he was joining my family, and I was going to be there for him. Recently, he actually bit me on my eyelid because I had made the mistake of dozing off when he was out of his cage. And that almost had Mr. Editor kicking him to the curb. In fact, he has warned me if it happens again, we will seriously might have to think about rehoming him, but I don't want that to happen. You know, birds are wild animals. They are tame, they're not domestic. And all birds bite, and I've accepted that. I accepted that before I ever got to bird. I knew this. So that's where I stand with that, and I just want to, I'm not abused. I don't have some kind of weird skin condition. It is just scars from being bitten by a pet. And I guess in closing, I had said the last time I was going to, mention some things, because I have mentioned before stuff I've seen I really enjoyed. And saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was fantastic. I actually shed a few tears over a dead blue alien. Probably because of the Cat Stevens music. But and I'm still watching American Gods, and I'm still really liking the majority of it. I have decided, though, that the Laura Moon character is stupid. It didn't even need to be created. I don't like the character. The actress is fine. She does a good job. They all do a really good job with the show. But I really hate Laura Moon. All she seems to me is an annoying container for Mad Sweeney's magical coin. And that's it. She just serves no purpose. And at least not thus far. I'm still watching it. It hasn't been enough to put me off the show. But, yeah, I don't understand her. And, well, that will be the vlog for today. It went a little long again, but I really, like I said, I wanted to just stop doing a random shout-out thank you to people who have inspired me. Or, it made me laugh. Like I said, I think the gift of laughter, or being able to make someone laugh, is probably one of the greatest things you can do for somebody. Because you never know on any given day where a good laugh could mean the difference between I can't take it anymore and, walking off a bridge, or, you know what, I can laugh at this stuff. Life doesn't have to completely wreck me every time something goes wrong. I can step back and realize, oh, I screwed up. I can move on. And, I've known a lot of people that seriously have said, if I didn't have that laugh, or if I had known now what I had known then, that I could laugh at myself or laugh at this situation, I would have been a much happier person. And I think happiness is a disease we really need to spread more of, I don't even say a disease, but if you can spread happiness, it's a gift. It really is, and it should be treasured. And on that note, I would like to say, let your weird light shine so the rest of us can find you.